Okay, we just finished celebrating or acknowledging Tu B'Shvat, which is the New Year's for the trees and so on and so forth, and always come to associate it with the famous pasuk in the Torah, Ki Adam Etz HaSadeh. And of course, is there anything really to learn? So I'm sure, a few years ago, and every now and then we have storms, and you see all of a sudden within one gust of wind, the whole entire tree from a living organism became dead, And how many times you actually stop there and thinking about that event and why these things happen and so on and so forth. If you think about it, the Mishnah in Masechet in Pirkei Avot says to us, "Kol shechochmato meruba b'ma'asav." Anyone that his intellect, his wisdom, is greater than his actions, right? Lema hu domeh, what is he like? Le'ilan sha'anafav merubim v'shorashav me'utin, like a tree that has many branches but not so many roots. And it says that v'aruach ba v'okarto, it comes the wind and uproots it, v'ofachto al panav, and turns it, upside down. Aval kol mi shema'asav merubin mechochmato, a person that does more than he talks, lema hu domeh, what is it like? Le'ilan sha'anafav mu'atin v'shorashav merubin, a tree that has strong roots but many roots and few branches. Sha'afilu kol haruchot sheba'olam, even all the winds in the world will come in and will blow. Ein mezizim oto mimkomo, does not move it from its place. Now, I want to ask you a question, really between the two of us, or between you and me and the lamppost, as they say. For example, in Japan, they always admire the sakura, the cherry blossom, and how do you compare? I mean, it doesn't seem to me right to compare a magnificent tree with beautiful branches to a tree that doesn't have so many branches. How could you do that? I mean, first of all, it's not as nice, and second, the branches, will provide you with shade and with a nice sound and sound effects and so on and so forth, and it's really beautiful. And if you compare it to the roots are not that gorgeous. The roots are not magnificent. They don't look gorgeous. They don't look anything, and so on and so forth. And in a way, you could look at this and say that the roots actually take away the ability of the tree for freedom and ties it to one place and prevents it from going whatever he wants. It's rooted in its place. But we have to remember that a wise tree remembers, yes, that the branches would give you an experience, and that experience might seem exciting and thrilling and awe-inspiring and so on and so forth. But that experience is passing by. There are very few experiences in life that would stay with you forever. Most of these experiences are, out there. It's so pathetic, the state that we are at, that we don't even, when we experience things like this, we don't even experience them. We just take pictures with them and selfies and so on and so forth. We miss the heavenly glory. But a tree that is really wise remembers all these things and doesn't get occupied with that. On the contrary, a tree that is wise pays attention to its roots, because that will give you the chance to survive. That will give you the roots will give you a chance to maintain itself, to live. They actually gives you life. Yes, the roots will tie you up to the place, and they will prevent you from being very mobile and so on and so on and so forth. But in the roots are the secret of life, and this is something that we really have to remember. And we have to remember, especially now, or at least from this point on, which is Tu B'Shvat just was yesterday. So let's try to remember from this point on that the same thing as Ki ha'adam etz hasadeh, man is like a tree in the field. And therefore we also have to remember our roots. Yes, you might tell me, but Rabbi, I keep Torah mitzvot. So maybe I'll tell you this. Maybe this lecture is really for people who are not so frum, or are not religious, or just secular Jews. But I'm going to tell you it's for all Jews, because we do the same thing as well. We should not forget our roots. We should not forget what is our Jewish identity, our Masorah, our traditions, our Torah. The mitzvot might seem to us a little bit old-fashioned, and might seem to us a little bit limited, but you should not take them for granted, and by all means you should not make fun of them. Don't get carried away and tempted by the experience that the tree, that the branches will give you, with the comfort that the branches will give you, which are, of course, the new branches that are always reviving and always changing and so on and so forth. Because the secret for life is being connected to the roots. Being connected to your roots. And that is something that we should not ever forget. We should appreciate, respect, and cherish all our traditions, all the things that made us Jews, the identity, or what does it mean to be a Jew. Even if it's old, why wouldn't we adopt to ourselves the Japanese concept of wabi-sabi, the beauty of in the old, in the worn out. There's tremendous beauty in Judaism. If you want to know how to survive, you have to connect yourself to the roots. Roots are very, very important. And if you're going to tell me, well, Rabbi, it's still limiting, I'm going to tell you, fine, guys, it's not a problem. Wait until a gust of wind will come, and then you're going to tell me if you feel the difference or not. When the turmoil, when the gust of wind will life and come, and well, you might be tossed around and be uprooted and turning into firewood, instead of really making yourself strong. As thank you so much. As Tehillim says, Ke'ilan hanatua al palgei mayim, like it's rooted by its source to water, its mei chesed. So our Torah, our root, should be planted in chesed, should be planted in the past and looking for the future. Rabotai, this is Zen Judaism. Have a great day.